Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Thursday, January 29th, 2022.
January.
Excuse me.
Well, it's 102 degrees here, so that's sure as the global warming is then taken over.
It's 90 here in St. Paul. I'm surprised we're not as hot as you are in near Sacramento. Anyway, let me try that again. It is Thursday, June 29th, 2023. I'm Rudy Maxa. My partner Tommy Danielsen is here with me, and occasionally, as many of you know, for the Frequent Traveler University, we drop in with a live sort of look at what's going on in travel these days. Not a lot of huge news going on now, but we'll keep you for a few minutes and tell you about some interesting things that we found interesting. Do you want to do the United thing first, since some people may be caught in airports watching this?
Yeah, I mean, I saw Pat, who's a friend of mine, who a frequent flyer friend I've known for years and years and years. She's stuck in Washington D.C. on day like 5, I think, with United.
Day 5?
Yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can find. I'm not going to show her Facebook page, but I'm going to look it up for you and see what we got going on.
Well, I know the CEO of United a couple of days ago gave a speech to all his staff, or sent out a memo, I guess, to his staff, and it got wide circulation. He basically blamed the FAA for not having enough people in the control towers and enough.
Well, that sure bit him in the ass really quick, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, weather has definitely been a factor this week. The incredible heat in Texas and elsewhere. Why is she stuck 5 days in Washington? Where's she trying to get to from Washington?
Trying to get back here to Sacramento, where she lives.
Is this because of
planes? What we are doing now? We've been stuck in D.C. since Sunday night, getting ready to book the Westin again, but hanging in there. They're still on the play. They have weight and balance issues right now because it has to be recalculated because the flight plan has changed. Passengers are leaving the plane in droves, looking at being stuck in Denver, change the scenery of airport hotels. So she's like, they're going back to the gate and loading more fuel. It's like, yeah, blame the FAA. Why don't Smysek the second or $2 Coke Kirby? Let's see here. So
since last Sunday, what is that? Aircraft are stuck in Texas or what?
There's no seats on any flights right now. That's what's happening.
No, so things get backed up.
Hey, there's Renee from Palm Springs.
It's not as hot there, I bet, as it is in Sacramento and St. Paul.
Yeah, we have. Well, I mean, it's a dry heat, so it's really not that bad, and it was also cool, so that down overnight. So we were actually having a good. It's good. We took a walk this morning. We walked 2-3 miles this morning before work. So here we go. So $2 Coke Kirby, who got that name from when he was with U.S. Airways and started to charge $2 for a Coke on board the plane and thought that was a good idea. That was actually his idea, and it turned out to being the most disastrous decisions in the history of airline. I don't know if we should say that. There's been so much going on. So it says, United CEO faults FAA as stormfront more flight cancellations. So pretty much what he said, it was an internal memo to the employees blaming the gridlock because of the FAA. I am also frustrated that the FAA frankly failed us this weekend, meaning that, let's get real here. We have some antiquated ATC in this country. I think that's safe to say that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But the current administration is the first administration who's actually doing something with this since the 90s. It has been put on the back burner for making the investments that's needed. And in reality, we really don't have any competition, and there's no accountability either for the airlines in the U.S. So they don't even care if you come. They don't have to pay anything when it's weather. And Kirby blames the FAA, but he loves to blame weather because when it's weather, you don't have to pay for hotels. You don't have to pay for people's food. You don't have to pay for anything. You can just leave them stranded for days.
Well, here's my question. Are Delta and American Airlines similarly situated to United right now?
Well, this is the Wall Street Journal article from a couple of days ago. Let's fast forward to today. Hello, Denver.
Oh, my goodness. Looks like
so they have hundreds of thousands of people are stranded. According to United's spokesperson, the first flights were impacted by severe storm, then airline staffing shortages, and then the FAA air traffic control operations made the bad situation even worse.
But that's United.
That is United. United is standing out.
I don't hear. I'm in a Delta hub here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and
there aren't any majors. There are some small delays because of the weather, but
I haven't heard of any huge problems here.
No, there aren't any. It's United. It's United, and it's funny that they're the only ones who has the problem with the FAA. How about that?
Right.
No,
the FAA has always been out to get them. Their stock has done very well, though. I didn't look at it today, but
honestly, the situation that they are in is the following. During the COVID, United got $15 billion to keep their staff on payroll through the pandemic. Fast forward, what they did was something completely different. They offered packages to pilots, overpaid pilots, to leave and retire early. And the pilots did. If you get to retire at 58 instead of at 64 or whatever the retirement age is now, we went up a little bit, with full pay and full benefits, would you stay and work 5 more years for free or making the same money?
No.
Exactly. Regardless how much you love your job, I had a great friend of mine who took a big package from American Express and left in 2010 or 11, and who was just full circle back at his job at American Express. I think they got the news today. Great friend of mine. I would get a job somewhere else at another airline when now there's such a shortage is what I would do. I would take the money and run, and that's what happened. Well, and of course, then we didn't have any pilots. Pilots were, out fishing, and then they cannot hire them back. And there are shortages. There are labor conflicts, and the unions are milking it for everything that it's worth. That they're and trying to get $500,000-$600,000 per pilot, which the airlines can afford because they're not making. Neither one of these airlines here in the United States, except for Southwest, makes money flying planes. They make money from frequent flyer points, miles and points. That's where they make their money.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we are, we're in the situation now that's been created exclusively by the terrible three, by United, American, and Delta are the terrible three. It's been created. The problem has been created by them. And they're now digging it, and and believe me, let's go back and look at this 6-7 years from now. There will be another round of Chapter 11s to get rid of these ridiculous pilot deals that they're making now to stay afloat. So they are scheduling way too many flights, and United is the biggest culprit for sure about this. I know American is also doing it, but not to that extent. They are scheduling a lot more flights than they should. They don't have any backups. And when stuff that this happened, it melts down. And since there's no accountability, they're doing it. So the shareholders are happy because the people are paying a lot more for tickets because of the high demand. They don't have as many flights as they had back in 2019 still and before the pandemic. So you have more people want to travel, and there's no accountability, so they just schedule these flights that the schedule doesn't add up. They have a lot of problems with their 757s, old piece of junk planes that they're flying around, and they're unreliable and they're breaking down. And when one of those does that, when they're using those for overseas flights, then it cascades into big problems. So
all right, I'd put us back on the camera. We're getting the weather for somebody over there.
Right. Yeah, somebody's doing the weather here. So let's do that. But let's go back
FYI,
to this.
United stock went down $2.58 a share today. Delta only went down 40 cents. All right. What else we got?
What did Richard Branson say? What did he say about investing in an airline? The best way to become a millionaire is to be a billionaire and invest in an airline. Then you become a millionaire.
Exactly. Well, do we want to talk about Southwest raising some fees? Not many, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you sent that as a gig here. This is like, Southwest is known for their business model is that you don't pay for the seats on board, you don't pay for checking your 2 bags for free. You get 2 bags for free. There are no change fees and any of that stuff. The most important thing stays as is. So this is a non-issue. We see a couple of changes. Third bags. And how often do you check 3 bags?
Oh, I have friends who do, but they're rich, so that goes from 75 to 125.
Right. So that's the
Overweight
third bag.
bags
And
went
if
up.
there are two people traveling, that means you get 4 checked bags. And
Right.
plus, you can bring it on boards. And overweight bags go from 75 for 100 pounds, and it goes from 75 to 100. And 70 pounds goes to 125 to 125.
The unaccompanied minor
Oversized bags
fee.
from
The unaccompanied minor fee was a pretty big raise from $50 to $100. That was double.
Yeah, but I think that what Southwest says, it's at the cost of having staff bringing the unaccompanied minor through the gate.
I got it.
And then back it's more in line with the cost they actually incur for that.
Yeah, okay, it's not bad. None of it's
and then
bad.
Pets fee goes from 95 to 125. That's in line with what the other airline carriers do. I think that JetBlue is the least expensive, and they're the most pet friendly carrier. So I wouldn't call this dramatic. I think that Gary has some points here that Southwest are selling points. They give you more legroom. They're 32-inch pitch on all their planes, while for those who don't have status and go in regular economy on the terrible 3, you have 30 to 31. The flight credits don't expire, so you don't have to worry about it. So if you and also as through time, like the policies that the other carriers have done through the pandemic, before we have to pay change fees, and we lost all our money when our plans changed.
I know, no question. What else?
And that was Southwest all along. And if you buy that second tier fare, you can stand by for any flights during the day and get it confirmed. So right now, I pay $20-$30 extra, and I can go on any Southwest flight of the day for the want to give away plus fares. You can go on any flight that day without paying the difference. So, and of course, their employees don't hate their jobs. That's a big differentiator with Southwest, right?
Yep. All right. I'm a big fan, as you know, of the Bilt credit card, BILT, that Wells Fargo issues. And every month, on the first day of the month, which they call rent day. I mean, the concept behind the Bilt card is you can put your rent on it as opposed to putting it on a credit card, because often building leasing management companies will charge you a $60 fee if you use a credit card. This way, you put it on your Lyft card, and Lyft issues them a check. So you're really paying by a check. So I'm a big fan of Lyft card because I'm saving $60 a month when I pay my rent here in St. Paul. But every month on the first of the month, it's rent day, and they put out some specials. And last month was a couple of months ago was a particularly good one. They let you qualify for a highest status on Hyatt if you stayed 20 nights instead of 60 within a certain time frame. And I did manage to do that, Tommy.
Congratulations.
This month it's a little more modest. They're going to, through July 1st, they're going to give Bilt members a $10 Lyft ride credit. If you happen to hold the MasterCard, though, the MasterCard card holders get $20 in Lyft credit. And if you book and take a ride on July 1st, you get another $5. So you get 25 potential bucks. That's a couple Lyft rides, maybe. But I like the fact you're going to get 6 Lyft points for dining out in any restaurant on.
You mean Bilt points?
Did I say Bilt points? Sorry, yeah, Bilt points for dining out on a restaurant on July 1st, rent day. And the nice thing about those 6 points is they can be transferred one-to-one to several airlines and hotel groups and so on. So they are transferable. They are quite valuable points, actually. So if you don't have a Bilt card, get one fast. But if you do, watch for rent day. It happens every month, and they'll send you an email if you have the credit card. So keep your eye on it.
You do realize that since you have one day to purchase, it's
you're not going to get a card that fast. Yes. Okay.
It's like a drawer. I hate it. And you also don't you have to have X amount of transaction per month, or
in 1 month you have to have 5 transactions, but I mean, it could be a Starbucks coffee for 5 days and you're done.
Yeah. But we're going to segue into the Marriott cards. It's the same thing here. So at the end of the day, I get it. But this is not, I think that at the end of the day, 1 day a month, you get $100 dinner and you get 600 points instead of the 400 points you get with your Amex. I think that the valuable thing with this card is that it has American Airlines.
Yes, and it's also the $60 I avoid a month. That's worth $720. No,
for people who rent, absolutely. I think that it's a great card for people. I wanted to get this card. I want to get it because I want to put some stuff on it, because there are things that you could do. The problem is, though, when you purchase something on the days that are 4x travel, what if it doesn't post until the next day? What happens then? If I were to, for example, $10,000 on hotels for our tour company around Lake Como, which I'm about to do for a couple of tours, I would put it on here and get 4x for travel. That would be a good deal for me. And then all of a sudden I would have, 40,000 American Airlines points for
right, or 40,000 Hyatt points. It also should be, well, you might want to call them up and say, hey, I'm billing it. Am I going to get credit today? I'm sure they know how to handle that. And it also should be noted that there is no annual fee for this card at the moment.
That's also a good upside. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like, there are the American Express Platinum card gives more for dining, which is a card that's very inexpensive when you think about what you get for annual credits for that.
Yeah, on a daily basis. Yeah,
right.
No question. It's first of the month is the hit day, and then if you do pay rent, it's very valuable, particularly if you're being charged to put your rent on a credit card because you're trying to get points on a particular credit card affiliate. So what do we got? What's Marriott?
We're going to segue into the cards that Marriott has. Do you have a Marriott credit card?
I do. I have a Ritz Carlton card and a Bonvoy card.
What's the Bonvoy card you have?
I don't know. You want me to look at it? I can tell you in a second.
Beautiful. So there are 4 cards now, and you can have, back in the days, getting Marriott status used to be really, really, really easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could just have a ton of Marriott credit cards, and those nights that you get so what does it say on the front of it?
Marriott Bonvoy. That's all. Boundless.
So you have the entry level card.
Yeah, because the Ritz Carlton one does me better. So.
Yeah, I mean the Ritz Carlton is not open for new applications, but you can you could transfer it, meaning that you can get one of these credit cards that they have, and they can
Oh, so all these big red numbers I see here, these are sign-up bonus points?
Correct.
Wow, 200,000.
So 200,000, but let's dissect. So you were talking about the Ritz Carlton credit card, which it's the only Marriott card that I carry.
Right.
And the reason why is because it gives you $300 in travel credits, which is a pretty loose thing to have. It's first of all, it costs $450 or $395 or $450 a year. I think it went to $450 a year.
You also get a free Ritz Carlton night a year, I think.
Correct. You get up to 85,000 points. I got screwed over a little bit here because they changed the program last year. And it used to be 50,000 points per year, but they changed it to 85,000 so for those who don't understand, the most of these cards, not the one that's free, but the ones so they give you a free night as a part of the gig, or up to X amount. They don't really give you a free night. They give you a free night up to X amount
at a certain level of their hotel rewards.
Correct. So let's start with the Boundless credit card. Is that the one that you have, right?
Yes.
It's a $95 annual fee for that particular card. And the free night that you get is up to 35,000 points. Are you able to use that?
I don't know. I never have. I haven't booked a Marriott in a long time, so I don't know.
So the 35,000 bonus points redemption is, the courtyard by
Marriott.
Tallahassee Airport courtyard, right?
Sometimes you need that courtyard.
On the 25th of December, that's when it's 35,000 points, right?
Right.
So it's a card that really is the 6 points per dollar spent is kind of right off the bat is what you get for
at Marriott. $6 for spending.
So $6 for all of the credit cards, including the Ritz Carlton card, has the same earning with the Marriott, except for the one that doesn't have an annual fee.
Okay, that's 6 points if you spend it at a Marriott.
Right.
Yeah.
You should not use this card to put any spend on any Marriott cards at all outside of buying, of just getting when you're staying at Marriott's. That's the only time you should use any of these credit cards.
All right, and get your $300 credit if you still have a Ritz Carlton card.
$300 travel credit. So I used it for upgrades, and it doesn't have to be with a specific airline. It could be an upgrade. It could be a lounge access to, for example, if you want to get into a club that's not covered. It could be upgrade to first class. It could be, you know, upgrade to Southwest Rapid, the boarding group A1 through 15.
Or a $300 ticket.
Pardon?
Or a $300 ticket.
Not really.
Why not?
It can't be that. Not for the Ritz Carlton. It's for the verbiage is
Extra
you know,
stuff?
Pardon?
You mean it's just good for amenities?
It's
not
not
for
like
actual tickets?
it's not like the Sapphire Reserve where
Well, you
you
get
just
cash for
where
a
it
ticket.
just takes anything travel. No, it has to be. We can get to that card last, but let's go through the ones. So you have the option. First option is $95 a year, and as you can see, it gives you gas, grocery, but no, none of these other categories. The only category you should put on a Marriott credit card to get 6x is the
A Marriott charge.
correct. And the you know, this card to me feels like it's pretty useless in the sense that you get the 35,000 for $95 a year. You get the silver status, and which is the throwaway status, not good for anything. And then you get 15 elite night credits, right? So
And
that's
125,000 points for signing up.
yeah. And for those who notice, this is one of the two Chase cards that they have. So it's a Visa issued by Chase.
All right.
So,
what's the next one?
The next one is the one has no annual fee. And
The bold.
The what?
The bold card.
The bold, yeah, you're bold enough to earn 3. So that means that you get more points by using the Sapphire Reserve and just skipping the Marriott altogether and have a more flexible credit.
Okay.
Then you have the Bevy, which is the newer type of card, and the difference in the earnings is that you get, instead of 3, you get 4 for for supermarkets and restaurants, which is a useless thing because a Marriott point is not worth even close to what a membership rewards points is with Amex, and the gold card gives you 4x on that. So you get
175 for signing up. How much is the annual fee?
The annual fee is $250. So that's the same as the. Wait a minute, did the Amex Gold go up to 275? I thought it was 250. I don't remember, but it's around the same as the Amex Gold, right? So you get gold status, which also is a throwaway level. It doesn't give you anything. You give a little bit more points. You get no upgrades or anything like that. You don't get club lounge access or anything like that. So it's a throwaway status. But here you get a free night. And here's the funny part. Wait a minute. Doesn't it give you a free night, annual night? Anybody in the comments? Hang on. What does it say here? It says that earn a free night award after spending 15,000.
Yeah. Okay, forget that. 175,000 points to sign up. All right, big deal.
All right. Let's talk about the elite status towards the end. Anybody online here? I see we have 16 people on YouTube and 6 on Facebook. Anybody know? I thought you got a free night. I guess you don't get a free night. One free night award. Earn one free night award after spending 15,000 on the card. That
pretty well says it.
That is a crappy card, and
right,
it gets worse. See there, the earning is less for the more expensive card. Here you go. Here's the $650
Brilliant
year card. $650. And the only reason it costs $650, and I would say that even though it gives platinum status, if you don't earn enough points or earn about enough. So platinum status is 50 nights. If you have one of these cards, any of the Marriott cards, even the free one, you get 15 elite nights. If you have a business card, you get another 15. So that means that you get, actually for this card, you get 25 elite credits for this card. 25 and 50 is what you need to earn platinum, right? So if you have this card plus the business card that's on top here, there's also one business card here. Then you get another 15 elite nights. That means that for one business and one personal card, if you have this card, you get 40. And if for the other cards, you get 30 total per year. So that means that you only need 20 nights to get it. So this particular card, right, it used to give $300 worth of Marriott credit per year. So when you stayed at a Marriott, you got $300 credit. It also used to be $450 a year. Now the only value that this card has is that the Bonvoy Platinum status. The Platinum status gives you, that gives you 50% more points when you stay, and it also gives you lounge access. But at the end of the day,
you don't get it automatically as soon as you get the card, do you?
Yeah, you just have to sign up, and then you get platinum.
Oh, okay, and you get 200,000 points. What's it? And this is how much of 650? Did you say?
650 a year, yeah. So it gives you, and you were talking about the built card. Here's another. It's another drawer. They're making you work for your stuff because they want you to jump through hoops to get this credit. So
is this once a month? You got a certain amount?
$25 a month dining credit on a hotel card. I mean, who does that? It's like it's not even related to Marriott spend.
But it's dining at a Marriott, right?
No, it's dining everywhere. You can go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, okay. All right, so $25
each year. You get up to $300, up to $25 a month in statement credits for eligible purchases made on the card at restaurants worldwide.
Okay.
So that means you got to keep track that you're spending the 25, and who spending 25 at a restaurant is usually whatever. It's just crazy. And then you also get the same credit as when you stay at a specific rate, a designated rate. You get $100 Bonvoy property credit at Ritz Carlton and St. Regis. But the problem here is that that credit, the rate that you're going to be booking, if you contact, Traeger or Ben, I see Ben here. I think Ben is also a traveler. If you book with the Marriott, with the finer hotels or rewards or any of these programs, you get much better benefits. So it's a useless one. I've never used that on my Ritz card because the rates are much higher with the qualifying rates. So the $100 credit is just useless. Then you get a $85,000, the same as the Ritz Carlton card. You get one free night award every year. So 85,000 points redemption, which is a decent amount of nights that you can do it for. So, if you want platinum status and if you can use that free night, sure. But
if you stay a lot at Marriott, you get your 200,000 points, so you can stay another 3 free nights maybe.
If you stay a lot of Marriott, you don't need platinum status because you'll earn it by having one credit card and one personal and one business. That's 30 nights. That means you need 20 nights. You're going to pay $650 for platinum status that gives you jack. I mean, come on, give me a break.
All right, so you don't like any of these cards?
No, I don't like any of them. I think Marriott needs to up their game on these cards. I mean, the sign-up bonuses are great, right? But I have the Ritz Carlton card because it is the only. Let's see if we can find a Ritz Carlton credit card. Carlton credit cards. Let's see. So here we go. There it is. Craving more points. So what do you get for each year for this card? You get 0 transaction fees. Wow, that is so cool. Contactless checkout. Ooh, this is getting better. Lost luggage reimbursement. Yeah. So you can use it as the primary coverage. This is a good card for that.
That's good.
Okay, so where are the regular benefits here? Are you kidding me? Okay, there is. Seriously, there's nothing. What are they? Why am I not looking at here?
When you first signed in, they were there. I think it was.
You get it's $300 a year travel credit.
They're $300 a year travel credit, but that's not like spending $300 in a hotel or on an airfare.
Oh, let's see if I can find a better review of this stuff.
All right. Well, here's 6 points for staying at a Ritz
That's the
Carlton.
same as the other one, right? It's the same. It doesn't change.
Okay. All right.
So I think that it's the.
Doesn't say anything about a free room there either.
I'm going to give you you get the 85,000. So here we go. Here's an article from Award Wallet. The Ritz Carlton is no longer available for new cardholders, but premium travel card is still available to existing cardholders. So you have to just get a card from Chase, and then a Marriott card from Chase you can get any of the Chase credit cards, which are the useless ones from and then you have to have it for a year, and then you can change it. Is it a year? Ben, do you remember? I see that you're on. Do you remember if it was a year you have to have it before you can do a product change, or is it a quarter?
What do you mean? You can trade in your other card for a Ritz Carlton card? Then?
Correct. You can change the other Marriott cards and do a product change to a Ritz Carlton, so you can still get it. So it says here, the 300. You need to have a Marriott card for 1 year before you can upgrade. There you go. So that was I actually was right on that. How about that? Woo! So you get the. It says 50,000. This is an old article, but it's now 85,000 because of the devaluation of the Marriott program. They made this so it's 85,000 points. So it's the same as the $650 card. Then you get a $300 travel credit. And the $300 travel credit is you just buy an upgrade. That's what you do. You buy an upgrade. You can use it for baggage free. You can use it at a lounge. You can more. It's a pretty loose thing, but it has to be done, and you got to keep track of it. Obviously, it's not an automatic thing for people who have the Sapphire Reserve. Then you have that stupid hotel credit that's useless. Then you get the 3 club level upgrades, which could be useful, but it's only for that specific idiotic. A Ritz Carlton club upgrade is worth something, right? Yes. It's worth like a few $100s a year per day for each upgrade. The problem is, though, that you have to have a specific rate that in order to qualify, and I've never found that pays off for it. So you get the Priority Pass Select, and the Priority Pass, as Ben says here in the comments, it's the best one. I'm not going to say, all those idiots who are bringing everybody and their mother into the lounges here, because you can have unlimited guests with these cards. You can bring everybody that's traveling with you. Don't do that, because what's going to happen is they're going to shut down that benefit like everything else. And the crowded lounges leads to diminishing benefits. So I'm not going to even talk about that. That's not a benefit that you should be. The good thing about this, though, is that you can have as many authorized users as you want, and you don't have to pay for it. But that's a good thing with this card. But the other thing is that it still has the dining credit. So American Express and Capital One and everybody else, except for Chase, has knocked off where you can go to a restaurant in Portland, a restaurant in Denver, and in the airports where there are no lounges or the lounges are crowded, you can use this card and you get a $28 credit per person for 2. You can bring a person with you, and you can dine at a restaurant. And there are quite a few of those around the U.S.
Now you're talking about a Priority Pass card that you get
a
by
Priority
having
Pass,
the
and you
Ritz
get
Carlton
the
card.
best possible Priority Pass membership that's available. You get with the Ritz Carlton credit card.
Okay, got it.
So, in conclusion, you get that 85,000 night, which you'll find a Ritz Carlton or you'll find a Ritz Carlton, and you'll find a St. Regis, many of them that has 85,000 points redemption. You can use it as a primary auto rental insurance. What does that mean? Well, that means that a lot of some credit cards will have it, so the primary insurance will be your insurance, meaning that your car insurance at home will be your primary insurance, which might have a deductible. Most people have a deductible. I think I have $500 or $1,000 or something like that deductible on our car insurance. You want to have the credit card to be the primary insurance. And then, of course, that $300 credit, which means that this is a no-brainer. This is the only Marriott credit card worthwhile. Everything else is just junk.
Okay, but to reiterate, Ritz Carlton will not give you a card if you apply cold, but if you have a premium one of their other Marriott cards, after a year you can request to upgrade.
If you have a Marriott Chase credit card as of today, you could do a product change, yes.
Okay, and get them.
You're the one that you have in your wallet. You have the Ritz card, so it's not valid for
So
you. But if
should
you
I
have
should I close out the $95 one?
you can.
The boundless one?
I wouldn't have it. I know it's a waste of money. I mean, if you never use that, if you just answer your own question, you're paying $95 for a credit card that gives you lower status than the Ritz card. You get gold with the Ritz and you get silver with the other one.
Okay.
That's one thing. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you are a fancy boy, and fancy boys don't stay at Kalamazoo airport courtyards.
Yeah, well, fancy boys do sometimes. I got to tell you that. But okay.
Yeah.
Your
So
point is well taken.
let's end the day on a high note. You were talking about the stomach virus spreads through cruise ships, fastest pace in years.
I know, we're back to norovirus. We haven't heard that word in a long time. Of course, the cruise lines were closed during most of the pandemic. But we're back to stomach virus on cruise ships. Fastest pace in years. It's still. I don't think it's a pandemic by any means, but it is tipping the Toledo's here a bit.
Well, you think there's COVID on cruise ships?
It's covered everywhere, I presume. Still, I don't think it's a big problem because there would be a bigger problem in everybody's everyday life. But
we're going to talk about, since we're tapping out here, we're going to talk about Marriott Rewards because it's not really that interesting, anyways. But we're going to trash them next week. I think that at the end of the day, so we were just on a cruise.
Yeah, you went to Alaska.
We did. We went to Anchorage. We had a wonderful cruise on Norwegian Cruise Line. And we went to the last night of the cruise. We went to the teppanyaki, restaurant.
Did they know you were a Norwegian guy going to a teppanyaki restaurant? Or?
So yeah, that's a joke. The Pope and me went to a Norwegian. Went to a teppanyaki restaurant. Yeah, and I didn't notice, but Melinda's mom noticed that the guy, the shrimp in the pocket guy with the eggs on the hat thing, he was sneezing like he was like that.
Ooh.
And he was obviously coming down with something. And guess what? Both her and my mother-in-law and myself got COVID.
Oh.
And it was an interesting gig that we did get the COVID on the cruise. And I was flat out for a couple. It wasn't even a bad flu for me.
Well, you didn't know about it. You got off the cruise, right?
I did not know.
Yeah.
I did not. It was the last day, and I didn't notice it until I got home.
Right.
And it was absolutely COVID. So I tested when we got home, and it wasn't. And then she tested when she went to the ER. She's a little bit older. She's in her 80s. So she went to the ER just to be safe. She wasn't feeling well. She was feeling miserable. And she tested positive. And then Melinda came home and pinned me down and tested me again. And voila, what do you know? And it was the fastest, like the little thing with the two lines. It literally took like 10 seconds. Boom. And that's how positive I was. So out of commission for a few days, and she was pretty bad shape. So there's COVID happening, and COVID still exists. And if you are, in a risk group, it's unless, if Melinda's mom wasn't vaccinated, I think it could have taken a wrong turn there for sure. She was struggling. Like it took a month for her to get out of it.
Wow. Well, there's that. I'm glad she did get out of it. Well, there's that, and now norovirus is back. So
yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned about that. Just stay away from the buffets. The buffets suck anyways. When you go on a cruise, you got restaurants, Norwegian Cruise Line had like 17 restaurants you can go and eat at. Why would you go to the stupid buffet? You know what I think? I bet it's that ice cream machine, when you all those jerk offs doing the ice cream machine, sharing an ice cream machine, that's that's what's doing it.
Well, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad your mother-in-law is back on her feet. And
yes, we were just ending our extreme. Wow, I cannot believe how awesome the tour we just did. Our Scandinavian tour. It was a blowout. We were so happy with our guests that we had, and specifically these ladies from Minnesota that we had with us. Were just,
when you say our guests, you mean the
Maxa
tour, the Maxa
Rudy
tour.
Maxa's tours. Yes,
Tommy and I run a very small group, upscale European tour company, and he just came back from leading one of our very popular tours to Scandinavia. There's one more this year. Is there any more room on the next one?
We got a new room in September. We have two couples open on the one that leaves on September 9th. And I think that's going to be a winner as well. I mean, right now, the Scandinavia,
you talked so fast. There's room for two couples on the September 9th one?
Correct. Starts in Stockholm, and you're in Stockholm for a couple of days. What the highlights in Stockholm, I think, was, the town hall had a 100-year anniversary this year. So they're doing some extra stuff happening because of that. The town hall is like, if you have you seen Rick Steves' Stockholm episode that he did?
I have not, no.
Yeah, so he is. So for those who don't know Rick Steves, he's a little bit lesser known PBS star as well. He's the same as Rudy, and he runs tours to Europe, a little bit different scale than us, meaning he does over 40,000 guests in a year, and he went there and he's talking about civic society. So the Stockholm City Hall is where the Nobel Prizes, not the Peace Prize, that's handed out in Oslo, but all the the science stuff and the literature and all gets handed.
Well, that's where it happens. Yeah,
that's where that's the in the town hall there is where the party is after.
Yeah.
And it's a civic thing. It looks a lot like a church, but the Scandinavians were kind of a little bit more relaxed about religion than here we are. Looney Tunes, on the complete opposite scale. The basics of civic society and its stuff. So it's a very fascinating tour that we do. And then we flew over to Bergen. Thank God we didn't have it for this tour, but for the next tour in September, the flight is nonstop, and just to Bergen, Fjord Country there. Did the Edvard Grieg concert. You sat in on the Edvard Grieg concert the last time.
That was a lovely concert. Yeah.
We had a pianist from. They have every week they have a different pianist that plays.
This was in Edvard Grieg's home. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Now you can visit. Right.
They've built the thing, and it's a pretty awesome lunch concept that they have up there that we bring all of our guests to. And they have a guest. They rotate the they rotate the pianist every week, and they had a lovely lady from India. She was very, very strong and powerful. And it varies what they play, so you know a little bit about Edvard Grieg, right?
I know a little bit about him because I went to the Edvard Grieg Museum. Yes, right there.
So you have this Norwegian folk music, right?
By the way, in case viewers don't know, you are Norwegian.
I am Norwegian, yes.
Right, okay, go ahead.
There is this folk music, with the violins and all that stuff, and it's
nothing special.
It's not like if Chopin heard it, he would laugh and just switch channels, right? So it's not like good quality. So he wrote a lot of that stuff, but he also wrote some symphonies and some other stuff that's brilliant, right? But that's except for the Mountain Hall, or what is it called, the most famous things that he's played, which I never listened to. He does have other stuff than that, and she focused more to play more of the tourists would recognize, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Hall of the Mountain Goat. No, I don't even know what it's called. But he has a symphony. He's got multiple symphonies. She played only like 5 to 10 minutes of that, and then
he did Peer Gynt. I think is probably his most famous one.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's just crap. It's just not something that you turn on your. You do a little Shostakovich instead of that. It's just I don't know. At the end of the day, it's a cool concert, and it's very awesome that they built this new building, and it's got a view of the hut. It's the window behind where the Steinway is. There's the hut where he wrote all the music,
and the woodland behind it.
That's through the window. You can see the ocean, and you can see the hut where he wrote it all. So the new concert hall was built just a few years ago. So that's not where he wrote the music, but his house, the villa, is right next door. And the hut, his wife kicked him out of the his wife kicked him out of the house and sent her down to that little hut. It's like, stop clunking your damn piano at all hours. Go down to the hut and do it. Not necessarily fact, but I would assume that something like that would have happened, right?
My favorite part of the trip is the Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen.
We did the Tivoli Gardens and exciting stuff. It wasn't the group wasn't the most receptive to the riding of roller coasters and stuff. We had a phenomenal meal in there at the Nim restaurant. They've got a Michelin star right upstairs, and this was the one that's inside of the gardens. The Michelin star is outside of the garden. So had a really good meal. I had a whatchamacallit, a shrimp salad. You know, the Scandinavian Greenland shrimps, right?
Yes. I can't believe you're going up on this track here. It's a great tour, Tommy. Why don't we leave it at that?
It's a phenomenal tour. And also, I think that one thing that we want to also just mention as a last thing here is that we have a new hotel in Copenhagen, the Villa Copenhagen, which you haven't even heard of.
No, I haven't. I was not on this tour.
Can you imagine that a hotel that you haven't even heard of?
Yeah, I can imagine a lot.
So they've taken the post office in Copenhagen, the old post office, they have made into a hotel. And it opened like in 2020, perfect for COVID, right? They opened this thing. They opened this thing back then, and it has an infinity pool on top of the building.
The Copenhagen. What's it called?
Villa Copenhagen is what it's called. So it's in Nordic Choice. So the new strawberry chain is connected to Choice Hotels, and a great well, not necessarily a great redemption, but 40,000 Choice points to stay there. But you know, the rates were like kind of, you know, $500.
It's very pretty. I just looked it up on the web. It's very pretty. Yeah.
It's a gorgeous hotel filled with well-to-do people, and that's our new host hotel there. And it's
nice. How many points? Who's given points?
Choice Hotels. Choice. You can use Choice points and stuff like that to do it.
Oh, okay.
And
very nice. And that's cool. Lovely.
But to end it up, it was just a spectacular tour. We had a great time, and the guests had a great time. I just absolutely loved how it turned out for this time. We are finally starting to get all of our ducks in a row after COVID, and I couldn't be more ecstatic about that. Hard work by all of our team. And by the way,
we're about to redo the website, so it'll have this hotel in it. But
that's the shrimp salad.
There's the shrimp salad. Excellent.
So look at that caviar that was on the shrimp salad.
So if you're interested in going on the September 9th tours, normally we don't do a commercial on this webcast, but go to maxatours.com. We're going to redo the description of the tours. We're changing some things here and there, but at least you'll see roughly what we do. Yeah,
next year is going to be an exciting year with a lot of new stuff that we're doing. So
and you can call Tommy.
This year is pretty good for what we're doing, but. Yeah, and I'll make sure that if you sign up, we can give you send us a note, and we can get you the shrimp cocktail.
Okay, lovely. Well, Tommy, watch your mail next week. You'll be getting thank you notes from the CEO of United Airlines, and I'm sure the entire executive staff at Marriott will want to send you a little love note as well for your comments.
Hey, I call it like I see it. United needs to get their act together. They're really they were the ones who were taking cheap shots at Southwest in Denver when they had a meltdown. Now Southwest United has 100,000 displaced passengers. Could you imagine how many people that is? That's like my whole town.
It's 100,000. It's 100,000. I don't have to imagine. It's 100,000. And Marriott and Chase have to up their card game. That's clearly their credit card game. So
yeah, or else we're going to fall asleep. Well, we gave credit to the Ritz Carlton credit card. That's a really good gig.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Keep in mind, if you